So the men's team's gold medal match here at the 2021 Asian Archery Championships in compound. And now come the 6 archers, the 3 Koreans and the 3 from Kazakhstan. And Kazakhstan beating Vietnam and India in their matches so far. And the Koreans coming through to beat Iraq and Bangladesh.
In target number 1, the team Korea representing Chae Young-hee, Kim Jong-ho, and Yang Jae-won. In target number 2, we have Kazakhstan representing Akbar Ali, Sergey, and Andre. Our line judge for this match is Ghazalia Rasuli.
So let's tell you about the 6 archers in the Korean team. We have Choi Young-hee, 36 years of age. He was the top qualifier in the qualification rounds with a score of 716. And also we have Kim Jong-ho, 27-year-old. He finished second, and just behind him in 5th place was Yang Jae-won. So they are the 3 archers from Korea as we get started in this men's team's gold medal match in number 1.
See the team communicating together. They're aiming. They've just come off a practice field onto this main arena. Looking like they've got their sights pretty central already.
Yes, indeed. That was Young there with the youngest of the 3 Koreans, 24-year-old. So 3 10s to start with. And now we have a look at the team from Kazakhstan. This is Akbaril Karabayev.
9.
Karabayev, a 32-year-old, high school ranking of 21. Now Sergei Kristich.
10.
And he's a very fine archer. Expecting good things and big things from him today in this session. He's also going to be competing for medals in the mixed teams and the individual. And now the youngest of the 3 Kazakh archers, Andre Tatuyan.
10.
Good arrow from him at the start. He's just 15 years old, so very young lad, but he can shoot. There's no question. Now we swing back to the Koreans. Kim Jong-ho.
X.
In fact, the Koreans look like they might have changed their order up, which is interesting. That was Choi with that arrow. Now Young, who shot last in the first rotation.
X.
Gee whiz. This is setting down a marker, isn't it? With 5 straight 10s from the 3 Koreans. And now for a perfect end, it all falls to Kim Jong-ho. See if they can get 60 out of 60.
10.
And there is your answer. So fantastic archery from the 3 Korean men's archers. The perfect score in number 1.
10.
The difference with this archer using that wrist release, you can see that first finger on the trigger, just bouncing around a little bit.
X.
Well, even though we saw the Koreans get the perfect score in this end, let's see if Tatuyan can complete back-to-back 10s here to keep his team in touch.
9.
There is that point, and it's not much of a difference between 10 and 9 in most things in life, Nikki, but in archery it can be massive.
Yeah, you know, it's just doubled the lead potentially there Korea have got, so it will affect this match a little bit. We saw those Koreans, like you say, switch their order a little bit. So as long as each archer shoots 1 arrow in each 3-arrow segment, they can change the order as much as they like. Sometimes they'll put, you know, the strongest archer up first to start the match off, and then that same archer might finish up. They tend to be the sort of toughest mentally positions to start and finish. So you put your more inexperienced archer perhaps in the middle, try and cushion them a little bit between your more experienced archers. So yeah, watch out for those switch ups.
So it's a 2-point game at the moment.
After the first end of compound men.
So those scores are all locked in now. Young, Kim and Choi, fantastic performance from them.
And Kazakhstan is 58. So Korea is leading after first end.
Of course, the maximum score you can get in teams archery is 240. And in their 1-4 elimination match against Iraq, they got 236. So that's not far away, but still room for improvement. But the Kazakhstan, or the Kazakh archers, are going to have to be very close to their absolute best here to stay in touch with the Koreans, as we see Akbarali Karabayev go to the shooting line.
X.
Now, Kristich has been solid so far. 2 10s, looking very comfortable on the shooting line.
X.
Just wondered whether I was going to give him the commentator's curse there for a second, and he might sneak one into the 9, but not to be.
X.
There's a little
Brilliant
head nod there as well, wasn't there?
Now Tatuyan, as I mentioned, just 15 years old, only coming in to international play right now. He's been to 1 World Youth Championships.
X.
Let's see if the Koreans can continue that perfect run so far, as we see Kim start with a 10. Now it's Choi Yong-hee.
Oh, a bit of a correction there, but he managed to keep it in the 10.
Yeah, it was a slight, he was slightly worried about it, wasn't he? Body language wasn't great that time. Well, there's the first miss, and it's come off Young's bow. Karabayev. He liked that one. He was walking back even before the arrow hit the target. Well, Kristich has brought his A game to the shooting line. That's 4 10s in a row, and he has looked very, very good. So now we got Tatuyan here to try and get the perfect end for Kazakhstan.
9.
And a similar arrow from him to end the second end as to the first as well. Taken the score of 59 there, Kazakhstan, in that end.
X.
Interesting anchor point, not on the corner of his mouth, a bit further down the side.
Yeah, that's 2 9s in a row. Have you picked up anything from Young's technique there as to why he hasn't matched his, or equalled his colleagues, Nikki?
Nothing, wild or anything like that. I mean, we are being hypercritical here, expecting them to hit the 10 all the time, but they're not far out, 50 metres. But yeah, he's got an interesting kind of little side anchor going on there.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that one as we move through this match. So, 118 plays 117. So there we are. It's 4 10s and 2 9s to Korea in end number 2. 5 10s and 1 9. So actually, Kazakhstan made up a point there in that end. They outscored the Koreans by 1. Doesn't sound like much, Nikki, but you take it, don't you?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, it was just down to that last arrow of that end there, sadly into the 9, and they would have been all squared up. So this is tight. This is great. This is great shooting from Kazakhstan. They're keeping the pressure on. We're halfway through, and if they can keep this up, I think Korea are going to find it a little bit uncomfortable.
Well, particularly liking the form there, and the man on the far side of that Kazakhs team. He's the man in the dark cap there, Sergei Kristich. He is looking really good.
We see Korea is leading with 1 point.
It's like a statue on the shooting line, and his technique has been very solid, and his arrows are going right into the heart of the 10 zone every time. But can he continue it? That's the question. So halfway through this men's team's gold medal match here at the Asian Archery Championships for 2021. Compound archery is what you're watching. The archer shooting for 50 metres at a target, which is 80 centimetres in diameter. That's a 10 ring, 8 centimetres in diameter. So let's see if Kazakhstan can continue to keep in touch with the Korean team as we see Akbarali Karabayev start the third end.
X.
Like I say, do watch this technique. Wrist release, that finger on the trigger. Everyone else has got a handheld release aid.
Well, that one just dropped below, didn't it? By about a centimetre, maybe 2. The line again was very good. Just the height that time from Kristich.
X.
Tatuyan comes back nicely, the youngster, with his third 10 from 5 so far. So 29 from 30 on that first rotation.
Nine, maybe 10. 10.
Well, there was no maybe about that one. Kim getting a 10 in there. And that's 5 straight 10s from him. He hasn't missed so far.
10.
And neither has Choi. So they have both fired 5 arrows each, or shot 5 arrows each rather, Choi and Kim, Nikki. 5 10s in a row. They're going great. Young here. Just before the buzzer expired as well. So 3 10s there from Korea. So they extend their lead by 1 again.
X.
It's looking so solid, isn't he? Straight off the line. There's no follow through. Get that shot away and get off. Give your team that time they need.
Well, Karabayev and Kristich, that's 5 tens from 6 arrows.
Nine.
Oh, I just dropped that extra point there, so 58 from 60 on that end for Kazakhstan. Means if Korea get the maximum 10-10-10 here, they'll extend their lead to 3.
9.
Interesting. Choi misses the 10 for the first time in the match.
Ten.
Look at those fingers moving on that
X.
release.
Well, Kim absolutely put that one dead centre. Well, that ends the third end, so 59 plays 58 in that end, which means Korea extend their lead back to 2 points, which is where we were after the first end. So just doing enough to preserve that slender lead. But Karabayev, Kristich and Tutuyan have been good in this match.
Yeah, they really have. You know, to be in the last end here, just 2 points down. They've got to keep their momentum now, keep that pressure on Korea. I mean, there's little cracks, there's little bits of, you know, looking at those Koreans, you can see their hands in the release stage, just a little bit of movement and things. So, yeah, let's see if they can keep their composure through this last end.
And Kazakhstan is 175. So
Well,
Korea
yes,
is
it's very
leading
important, isn't it?
points.
Try very hard not to think at all about your opponent on the other side of the range. It's just all about what you can control, and see if these 3 Kazakh archers can hold it together here and somehow come back from a 2-point deficit. If they do, of course, and lock the scores up, we'll be off to a shoot-off. So up steps Akbarali Karabayev to start the 4th and final end in this men's team's gold medal match.
Ten.
Well, it's rinse and repeat, isn't it? From Karabayev.
Ten.
Well, now to Tuyan. He's had 6 arrows so far in the match, 3 10s and 3 9s. If he ever needs 2 10s, it's right now.
Ten.
Oh, you can't ask for any better than that, can you? Brilliant effort from them.
Exactly what they needed. Got to put this pressure on Korea now. Keep it tight.
10.
Well, Kim's looked as solid as all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight 10s. 7 arrows, 7 10s from Kim. He's been perfect in the match. Not far behind him is Choi. And now Young. 4 10s, 2 9s from him so far.
X.
Wow. Just brilliant archery from all 6. 6 10s. Kazakhstan can't get any closer because Korea are just off to the races.
10. 10.
Altitude now to end Kazakhstan's quest for a gold medal, and he needs a 10.
X.
Oh, brilliant. So 60 from 60 in that last end. They've only dropped 5 points in the match. That score of 235 is higher than their previous matches that they have won in this competition. But will it be enough to win? Up steps Choi.
Nine.
Oh, one more slight slip up. And we're going to have a very interesting situation as Choi misses the 10. This is Young.
10.
I think that grabbed the line, but by the barest of margins. Wow. So Young breathes a huge sigh of relief. So we're down to Kim here. Kim for the gold medal. He needs a 10.
X.
What a way to win it for Korea. Brilliant performance from Kim Jong-ho in particular. He fired his 8 arrows in that match, 8 10s. Didn't miss the 10 ring, did Kim Jong-ho. Brilliant performance from him in particular. And he fired in that toy, shot that 10 there when the pressure was really on, Nikki. It was pretty impressive stuff from him, wasn't it?
It really was, you know. Oh, Kazakhstan, what a fantastic match. They kept the pressure on Korea all the way. They made them shoot their best they possibly could. And what a match. I think they are checking those liners because this is really tight. But yeah, incredible shooting from both teams.
Wow, Kazakhstan only dropping 5 points in the match. Korea 4. What a performance from both teams. The standard very high. As I touched on, that score of 235 was actually the best of the tournament for Kazakhstan, but not good enough to win. And there they are, the winners of the gold medal, the men's teams. Compound Archery Championship title winners here at the Asian Championships of 2021. Choi Yong-hee, Kim Jong-ho, and Yang Jae-won of Korea. And Choi now becomes a 4-time gold medalist at the Asian Championships. Kim's won 3 golds. And Yang wins one, I think his second, if I go back through his profile here, to go with his gold in the teams 2 years ago. So brilliant effort from Choi, Kim and Yang to win gold in the men's teams, and we'll have the medal ceremony very shortly.